What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wrestleshoot. I'm your host, the Wild Thing, Rob Wilds, joined, of course, by my hetero life mate, the lovely and talented Chris Casanova. What's up, sweetheart?
What's up, homie?
And we're bringing in our new buddy, Rick Recon. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty, let's pay a few bills.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
And we can consider the bills paid, and we're back to another episode of Wrestleshoot. So, Chris, we got ourselves the next breakout AEW superstar joining us today.
It's freaking awesome, man. I'm glad he's on here. I'd love to hear some cool stories.
Hey, watch your fucking language.
What? What'd you fucking say?
I didn't say nothing. Calm down.
You didn't say fuck.
Don't get heated. Don't fucking get heated, buddy, or I'll straighten you the fuck out.
Where's my chair at, damn it?
Oh, no more of those.
37 times.
That's been cut. That's been cut now.
We're
not doing any of that tonight, boys. It's an easy night.
There
you
go.
hit 37 times with a chair, then Rick will beat me with an armbar.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally makes sense. Because I totally needed the armbar. I got to get my shit in.
That's right. Oh, God, that's one of my favorite sayings in this business. Oh, I got to get my shit in now? No, you don't got to get your shit in. You want to get your shit in.
Exactly.
I have so much shit that if I got all my shit in, we'd be there for an hour. So that's why I don't need to get my shit in all the time. Like
Rick Recon, the 16-minute man. Woo!
Absolutely. Somebody needs to book it. I'm sorry. Like I could go 60 minutes. I really could. I want to do it one day. Like actually do it. So
yeah, I really don't. I think me and Caster went 40 minutes one time in a ladder match that we were like, okay, never again. That was too much.
It's too much. You feel like 2 weeks afterwards. You're just, no, I can't do it. No.
That's why I'm looking forward to us lacing the booties back up and actually getting back in, because it seems like things have gone back to wrestling and psychology, and not everything's got to have some stupid gimmick behind it.
I know. Either a stipulation or everybody's starting to smarten up and be like, all right, we don't all have to be spot monkeys.
I hate spot monkeys.
You'll never see me do it.
So you're the kind of guy who just says, here's the finish, see you out there, yeah?
Yeah. A lot of the times that's just how it is. Let's just go and let's fight. I prefer like shit like a strong style, like just it's a lot of hard hitting shit. Like to me that's entertainment. That's what people go. Most people that go and pay money and get a ticket to professional wrestling, like, yeah, it's wrestling, but they're like, yeah, we want to see two guys fight and like tear each other up, man. Like that's just, and like go at it. And guys that look like either big dudes or athletic guys and just beat the snot out of each other. That's what they pay their money to see. So like to me, that's what I'm trying to go for. Like I don't need all of this to get over. I just don't.
And I think the days of
do any of it.
The days of stomping when you throw a punch, thank God that's gone too. It seems to be.
Yeah, it's phasing out.
Thanks,
it's phasing out. It's kind of like an old habit that kind of it's left over from that era, and I think sometimes it sneaks its way in because you've seen it so much and it kind of leaks into your subconscious. And then, but yeah, you just kind of, it's just an old habit. You just got to get out of,
Sure. So, Rick, tell me, you talk about hard hit style. So, if you had a style to compare yourself to, who would you compare yourself to? It could be it could be someone in the past, present.
Yeah, I would probably say, honestly, one of the guys I really gravitate towards in the sense of like, because I'm still a fan. Regardless of being in the ring, there's a difference between a fan and a mark. still a fan. We all love professional wrestling. Otherwise,
Sure.
why the hell would we do this shit?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
As far as like he is current, and honestly, he got his just dues. He just won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Shingo Takagi. He's a brute. He's he is the guy to lead New Japan Pro Wrestling. To me, I like a guy like that because he can banger after banger after banger match against like cruiserweight guys, super heavyweight guys, heavyweights, any kind of style. He doesn't have a bad match. Guys like that, I love dudes like that because I've seen him do a singular dive in the 3 years that he's been in New Japan. One.
Yeah.
And he made it count.
There you go.
The dude just destroys people with everything. I like shit like that. That's what I gravitate towards because I don't get me wrong, like a 450 is fucking awesome to see, but when you see it like 3 matches in a row, I'm saying,
what? Again?
All right, so now the next guy, he's got to do a 630, and then somehow he has to figure out to do a 720, and then eventually he just dies because he just
let's do an 1832.
Too much. Like, again, it's not a knock on the athleticism. It's amazing.
Sure.
But it's like anything else. You see it with the 37 chair shots. All right, man. Like, you're literally beating a dead horse. You're literally beating a dead horse. We've seen it already. Something else. There's 1,000 moves and different things that you could be doing. Why do you have to do the same shit as everybody else?
Yeah.
Even if you only know 10 moves, do 10 moves and leave the chair for the mark to sit on.
For real. I mean, exactly. Why are you taking the chair away? Like, that's a paid ticket for a seat.
Right.
Yeah. It's,
or
do the 10 moves well. Do them well.
Oh, yes, exactly. Like, that's great. You know 30 moves, but they're sloppy as shit. Give me 10 perfect moves you can do perfectly every single time, no matter how exhausted and blown up you are. Those are the ones you're going to do.
Amen.
That's how I look at it, honestly.
Oh, okay. Lord, looks like we're already getting some fans chiming in asking questions. Chris, you want to take a look?
Yeah, let me take a look at these questions here. All right. Wow. Man. Okay.
What's up, Christy? What's up, Brandon?
All right. I'm going to start with the earliest one. Oh, gentlemen. Is there going to be kendo sticks? What's up, guys? Okay.
No.
I can see. You know what kendo sticks?
No.
Let's see. All right. What was it like to get a call from AEW? This is from Brandon.
I thought it was a joke. Honestly.
Really?
I thought it was a joke in a sense because, like, I'm sorry, like, if you've been in this business long enough, somebody's tried to work you saying, "Oh, I work with so and so," or "I know this person and that person."
No,
and
really? Come on.
99 times out of 100, they're trying to work you. All right, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
So I read it and like I got the email because I had submitted my stuff. Okay, but I got this email all of 2 weeks later, and I'm reading it foggy-eyed because I'm waking up to it going, this has got to be bullshit. This can't be real. It can't be real. But as I'm reading through it, I'm going, no, this is legit because I checked it all out and it was real. And it didn't really sink in until I was on the plane. And wow. Yes, I do everything very. They don't call me the cyborg for nothing. Like I'm very machine-like. I just go and do and process everything and just continue to do it. I try not to get into here too much. I just continue to do it. But when I got on the plane, I went, shit, this is really happening.
Here it goes.
Yo, we got to deliver. No matter what it is, no matter what they have you do, no matter what they ask of you, just do it and do it 1,000%.
It got real.
And the biggest thing is, as much as people might go, oh, he thinks he's a big shot now, and it's not. You go in there and just no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done before, you need to understand. You need to come in there humble. Doesn't matter what you've done before. Come in there humble, no matter what. So it was crazy, honestly. And being there, being in the building and seeing it, it's really hard to describe it. You have to actually be there and go, dude, you here.
Yeah.
Now deliver. So
That's when the pressure starts.
I hope I delivered based on I hope I delivered. They didn't have any issues. You know, Dustin Rhodes was like, "You're good, kid. You did what you did. You're good."
Yeah.
So I didn't hear anything, any nitpicking. So I'm like, oh, okay.
So is Dustin like the guy who does the evaluations?
Well, he's a producer backstage.
Oh, okay.
So like any of the segments for like Dark and Elevation, like he's a producer.
All
So
right.
he watches it in Gorilla and studies it, and you come to the back and they go, all right, fix this, work on this. This was great. That sucked. What the fuck was that? Don't ever do that again.
Ever.
There wasn't too much of that.
Right.
There really wasn't. I'm just being an ass.
Sure.
There really wasn't too much of that. Everybody was really on point, honestly. Really good. They do pick their talent very well, even like for the enhancement guys. They pick them very well. But yeah, that's it. Like they actually legitimately sit there and like try to make their product better each and every match, each and every taping, Dynamite, Dark, Elevation, whatever. That's just how they do it. And honestly, like they have a good like system. Honestly, it's good. It doesn't feel as oppressive as you would almost you think. Like you go into like the E or whatever and you're in the back and you're like, yo, you breathe wrong, you're expecting to be like kicked out the door.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like here they were like, I mean, you still got to be on point, but they like are like, yo, like just do your job and you're good.
Yeah.
So do they call it the Gorilla over there?
Yeah, I didn't hear it called anything else.
Nice.
So, I mean, there wasn't anything that said Gorilla, but yeah, that's it. It's Gorilla.
That's cool.
That hasn't changed.
Keep that tradition going.
They better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pissed if they don't, because that's really just because I'm gonna go. If they give it some other name, I'm gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about.
They'll start calling it the Russo.
No, sweet Jesus, no. Okay, like no, nothing against him, but no, please no. Just leave it as it is. That some things just don't change.
So any more interesting questions pop up yet there, Mr. Casanova?
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. What was your dream match?
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's a hard
like,
question.
I'd be here.
Really
all night.
is.
Like I don't have just one dream match. Like there's a list of people. Like I said, I'd be here all night. I mean, I could name a couple.
Top three.
Like
Top
I
three.
can name a few.
Yeah, name your top three.
Okay, top three. Big influence, like I brought him up, was Shingo Takagi. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in New Japan, Independence, wherever, as long as it's him.
Okay.
That would be one. I would probably have to say another one would be Will Ospreay is another one, another New Japan guy. He's British dude, so he's another big influence. Like I'm a very influenced by New Japan and All Japan, like guys like that. That's a big one. And I would say, man, narrowing it down to three is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say maybe this is a dream. It's dream matches are kind of like big things. Like you're hoping that maybe that one day will happen. But they probably won't. Like, just it's a dream. But there is one match that I would say I would want, and honestly, it's something I could see happen, whether it's in like New Japan Strong or in AEW. There's a guy that's there; they just signed him, Danny Limelight. Like he's been killing it over there, and he's a guy like I honestly want to get in the ring with and tear it up. Like, give us 10, 15 minutes or 5. I don't really care. Like, let's tear it up. Like, I like his style, and I think his style is a bit different than mine, but it's similar. So I honestly feel that clash would be a hell of a match, like, wherever it is. Like, that's a guy I would actually really like to work. I only really, like, kind of discovered him in a sense, like, this year. Like, I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year ago. But like, at more I see how he works, I'm like, this guy can go. And this is a guy that we just bring each other like just up, and it would be a great match, honestly. So
Wow.
Manifesting that one, putting that out there into the world.
That's right. Send it to the universe.
Well, I think you get a good point on that. You're looking for someone that always elevates you because you work people that are probably below your level, and they don't really help you grow. But someone like that, like you're mentioning, that's going to help you grow. So it sounds like that's what you're like ultimately is looking for.
Yeah, no, I don't ever want to stay the same level.
Yeah.
Ever. Why? I always want to go up. I always want to get better. Like, I want to work people that are better than me, because that you just said, that's the only way you get better. That's the only way you improve and evolve and level up. If you're just working guys in your same general area all the time, you never travel out, you never go anywhere. It's the same. You're going to stay in the same pattern. That's just how it is. Like, and then fans are going to like, oh, I could see him like next week if I want. You're not going to be a draw because they can see you anytime you want.
Sure. Yeah.
So if anyone say, I mean, I'm not a vet. I'm never going to give myself that label. But like, if there's any like more like newer beginner guys, like some green guys or whatever, they're like a year in, maybe 2, go travel. Get the hell out of your personal area and go travel, because you will be better for it. You will grow, and you're going to get in front of a lot of different crowds. Believe me, a crowd up in New York State is totally different from down south and vice versa.
Oh, yes.
You have to be able to work in front of every single kind of crowd you come across and get over. If you could do it everywhere, then that means you've got something.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, that was well said. That's the advice we were giving our kids back in the day too. We had a wrestling school in Sacramento. Was don't sit here on your Sacramento territory and try and be king shit here. Go out there and be a smaller guy on the road, because you're going to come back here and work circles around all these local dudes who won't go anywhere, don't want to go anywhere. Brian Cage, did you get to meet him over at AEW?
Briefly, yeah, I did meet him briefly. I've met him before at an independent show before. Dude, that guy is huge. He really is. Like,
we used to book
incredible.
the hell out
really
of Brian.
Is.
Back when he was like 19, we were booking it, and he was huge when he was 19, but both of us were like, this guy is going to go. He is definitely going to go. And he did.
Yeah, he did.
And he
got out. He went everywhere. He did everything. So,
he did.
And obviously a guy that big that can move that well, that's really hard to, like, talent can't be denied. That's just how it is. Like, a guy that has that level of not only potential, but drive and work to get somewhere is going to get somewhere. That's just how it is. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, sure.
He does not lack a discipline.
No,
not at all.
And even like back then when he was only 2 years old, I think, or something like that, when we started booking him, he was working circles around some of these guys who'd been around for a dime or for 15, and where it's like, man, this kid is good.
Yes. To me, it also like a lot of times. And I don't ever like give anybody crap for like, if you ask them how many years you've been working, 10 years or 15 years. But there's also the other thing that a lot of guys forget is how many of those years were quality years?
Yeah.
How many matches did you do in those years? Because there's guys I know that have been doing it for 10 plus years. They have less than 100 matches under their belt. I'm at like 200 at this point, and I'm only 5 years in.
Yeah.
So in every kind of match you can think of, as far as like triple threats, fatal four-ways, scrambles, singles matches, tag matches, steel cage matches. I mean, everything. Like, I haven't done everything, but like I've done a lot in that amount of time, especially like the last few years, even during the pandemic when like they were cutting shows. I actually worked through the pandemic for like different shows that were able to run in New Jersey. Because I said,
oh, wow,
I am not waiting a year to work. This is not happening. I'm not.
We didn't even know it was going to be a year. It could have been 5. We had no idea how long it was going to be. So dudes like you, with the size of the balls that you have, help keep this business alive.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it, man. Like it was like this is like the thing this is like what I'm going for. Like this wasn't a hobby for me. This was like professional shit for me. This was like really what I wanted to go for. This is my goal to do this. So I'm like, I'm not doing a fuck out of here. I'm not waiting a year for this shit. Like as long as like, I, keep myself and like other people around me like safe and take precautions. Like I'm not waiting to do this. Like I'm going to get out there, period. And I did. And like, I might have had less matches, but every match I had was quality. Every match was like, just made me better. And was like, I was a match that I could take and send to promotions and go, here, I just did this. And they went, wow, that's really good. Let's book you. Or wow, that's really good. Hey, let's bring you in sometime. That's just like, I refuse to ever slow down or wait for anything.
So going back to the AEW thing, how did you submit to them? I assume you didn't go old school and drop a DVD in the mail.
No.
I love that old school
No,
DVD.
I did the I got a contact. I don't want to put it out there just because that was a huge thing. I guess somebody did, and that was a whole mess of whatever. So I don't really want to get into that, but I was given a contact. It was only given to a specific few guys, and I literally just sent them here. Here's pictures, video, promo, matches. This is where I've done. This is what I've worked. Passport, all the 15 states that I've worked in. Yada yada yada. This is who trained me. All the basic shit. Like your wrestling resume. Is what I said.
Of course.
Like, let's be real. That's what I said. Like a job application. Like, that's really what it is. And that was it. Like, that's what I sent. And it was enough for them to go, yeah, let's bring him in. Small spot, but that small spot can lead to bigger spots. That's just how it works.
Absolutely, yeah. So who did train you?
I got two people train me. One guy, he's an independent guy. He's done some work in Mexico and Japan, the States. He might not be as well known as some people, but it's this guy named Shockwave the Robot. He's a character. Like I said, he's an indie guy, but like he really gave me the foundational shit, and I built off that. And then Brutal Bob Evans from Ring of Honor he helped guide me and like fine tune a lot of things. Not so much. I mean, there was in-ring stuff, but like psychology, how to handle yourself, how to market yourself, put yourself out there, which to me was just as important as the in-ring stuff. Because you could be the best wrestler in the world, but if nobody knows who you are, that doesn't matter.
We have a question from Maria, which I can't quite make out because I'm not wearing my specs. I'm wearing my gimmick.
Here. No, I got you, man. So how long have you been wrestling, and where did you? Well, I guess you answered. Where did you start?
Yeah, 5 years professionally, and I started. It was up in upstate New York. It was a small little school. Dude, it didn't even really have a name for it. I mean, it was part of a Fed that ran a few shows, but it was mostly just school. And like I said, Shockwave the Robot, the guy who owned the school, Jerry Idol, like I was trained by them. So yes, they weren't these big name guys that trained me, but clearly like they knew how to train guys. They knew how to like show us what we could do. Like the foundation is the foundation.
Sure,
so
of course.
Regardless of who does it, as long as you have that, you can go from there. So they trained me. I trained there for a year, and then like I just kept going to practice more shit. Just, this is something new. Let's do this. Because a lot of guys will finish up training and then they just sit there and they don't do anything with it, or they don't get better. They stay the same guy that they have for 5 to 10 years and they look the same, and then they quit wondering, why didn't I make it? Because you didn't put in anything into it. That's why.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I got another question here. Man, we get popular today. Let's see. All right, favorite city or best city for wrestling? I think
Like, I feel that changes every year or so.
Sure.
Depending on because let's face it, wrestling follows wrestling. Everybody goes to the place where it's hot. It always seems to change. I mean, right now, Florida is probably anywhere in Florida, but specifically like Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando. Those are probably the best places for wrestling right now because that's where they've been running. That's AEW's done their stuff there. The E has done their stuff there. Because Florida is so open.
Sure.
You just scared, run shows, whatever, do your thing. Don't have anybody die. That's basically all that they say. And even then, they don't really care if anybody dies as long as you have liability insurance. They don't really give a shit.
And let's make the death from a really big bump.
Yeah. For what? But yeah, basically. No, I would say probably anywhere in Florida. Those specific 3 cities are big. Now, New York City used to be kind of good for that, but New York State's been shut down solid for pro wrestling. And honestly, that scene, anything good that was in that scene has moved on a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I travel. That's where I'm mostly, but unless if I'm not getting flown there, it's pretty much Jersey that's been super hot. That's the Florida of the Northeast is New Jersey. Everything's been running there. GCW has been running there. All these different places, all these different feds. Hell, there's some feds from New York that have started running shows in New Jersey because what else are they going to do?
Yeah, because they can.
They can't. Yeah, exactly. All the states around New York are opening up. I just did a show Sunday in Massachusetts. They opened up PA. New York's just sitting there waiting. And we're like, dude, come on, man. Just open it up. Y'all are all going to open it up. You're opening it up for MMA. Open it for pro wrestling, too. What
the hell?
The commission in New York State, you want to regulate us the same as MMA and boxing. So approve our shows just like you're about to do for MMA and boxing. Yeah. What's the difference? Why, if they're separate, then treat them separately.
Regulating pro wrestling like boxing and MMA, that's a twat move. That's just people trying to make extra money. That's good. That's going to hurt a lot of the wrestlers.
This is all it's for. This is all it's for. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Combat arts insurance. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right.
Just take that and shove it up your ass, Cuomo. I don't want to hear it.
Combat arts.
Combat arts.
Why don't they just call it stage fighting insurance?
Yeah, right. No, if it's stage fighting. So if it's stage fighting, why do you need to regulate it then?
That's right. We have been fighting that good fight for 25 years. When they decided to start trying to regulate wrestling in California, we told the athletic commission where to stick it. We never bought their license. We never followed any of their rules. And they never came and shut us down. Go figure.
Yeah, that's weird.
I really wish New York had done that, man. I really do. Or half these states that agree to this crap. I really do.
Well, God, you made me feel a lot better about our Florida. We're making a move to Florida here sometime this year. And get ready to open up a wrestling academy with Marty Jannetty and do some shows out there. And you help build up my confidence in that move a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good spot. I'll come down there for one of those.
There you go.
Hey, man, I went to Florida and I was like, man, I like this weather. I'm not.
And the beach. Oh,
I love this Florida weather. I really do.
Can't beat it, man. Can't beat that weather out there.
No, you can't. You can't. I love it.
Well, as long as you have somewhere to go in July and September with an air conditioner.
Yep. If you got an AC, you're fine.
Then you're good to go. If you're driving a car with a busted AC, your whole life is busted, man. Just time to walk away. But real quick, since we hit the halfway mark, let me throw this plug out there. I don't know if I told you this yet, Chris, but I was speaking of Marty Jannetty, talking to him a couple of days ago, and he was so displeased for some reason with his performance on here last week with us. He wants to come on again next week and try and make right. He won't be, screwing with his fucking phone the whole time.
Nice.
He's like, you know what? He said, I feel like, and this is me putting Jannetty over, I feel like I owe those fans a better showing. My dude, come on.
He's just a good dude. I mean, overall, man, you can see in his ring work. I mean, just everything, and he's freaking awesome, man.
That might sound like a mark, but I don't know. I'm under the impression that Jannetty is one of the greatest workers ever.
You had to have him. You couldn't have the Rockers without him.
Shawn Michaels would have never been Shawn Michaels if Jannetty didn't bring the Heartbreak Kid out of Shawn.
Sometimes you just got to have that other guy, man. That's just how it is. You got to have the spark to do it.
Well,
everybody just loves him.
Oh yeah. So you see his last comment, Rob, about the promo? Did you see this? Brandon is requesting a promo from you, Rick, on us.
For you guys.
He's going to cut a promo on us?
Promo on us.
That, you know, I mean, I'm not against like a promo, but like usually I gotta hate the guy that I'm cutting a promo on. Like there's gotta be some heat, man. It's really hard.
Everybody hates
It's hard
Chris,
to cut a promo on guys that like you like or like you're chatting with so nicely. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's gotta be some heat there, you know.
Yeah, hey,
that's
fuck
just
you,
me.
Brandon. How's that? How's that for a promo?
Cut a promo on Brandon, man. He's the asshole who asked that.
Oh,
we might have to name you asshole of the week for that shit, Brandon.
I threw you on the spot, man. No, I get you with the heat, man.
You're blowing up his spot. He's probably feeling awful right now.
What do you think, Chris? Should we go ahead and make it official? This week's asshole of the week?
What, Brandon?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon. Congratulations, you're famous. You're Wrestleshoot's asshole of the week this week. You're famous.
I'm gonna get the heat for that because I wouldn't cut the promo.
You kidding me?
You know what I mean? Like,
you kidding me? I talk shit to Brandon every week.
I'm blaming Recon for this one.
Nah, he's always on the show. He's a good dude.
He actually does a show on our same network too, so it's a little easier to bust his
bust his balls. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
you know,
bust
his sack
I don't feel so bad now. It's all good.
Give him one of those Chris Casanova nut shots. Bam.
There you go. Yeah.
Right up Main Street.
Always so stiff too.
Just on you, but that's all right.
Bring it, Rob. I'm glad to be asshole. You are asshole of the week. I don't gotta bring shit. You brought it. Well, okay. Adam actually asked a question of Rick, and they seem to want to ask this every week, which is a cool question. They want to know who your Mount Rushmore is.
Oh, and I'm okay. I have one, and I honestly feel that, like, listen, anytime you do a Mount Rushmore, somebody's always going to have an issue with it. But here goes. Okay, so to me, I feel it's like, and it's no offense to anyone like before Hogan, because let's be real, Hogan's got to be on it. So that's one of them. Like, obviously, you know, San Martino. I mean, come on, this isn't running down anybody, but if we're talking about pro wrestling, what really like launched it into what it is today, you got to go with Hogan. Okay, that's just one.
Yeah, it's a given.
For me, simply because he's so influential on myself and so many other people, and he's been such a mainstay in pro wrestling, and he is truly like still an icon, would be The Undertaker. Hands down for me. I can't deny that. And The Undertaker. After that, I would say simply because of no one's beaten him for ticket sales, box office attraction, and just he's probably the most over guy that there's ever going to be is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't think anybody will be more over than him. Glass, that's it. That crowd is lost their shit already.
Yeah.
I love the Mount Rushmore so far.
Now,
well, that's it. That's 4.
Since we go, it's kind of going based off of a period, like how we go into like each era. Now, I know that this guy isn't always the most liked guy, and everybody likes to crap on him. And
oh, stop! You're gonna make me blush. Oh, wait, not me? All right.
Well, as long as you don't say Rob, okay? Because I got a request from Brandon says don't put Rob on there. So
Okay, it's gonna be raw. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's an ongoing rib we got when we ask people that. They always get a little twisted up on their fourth, and I go, "It's me." You could just say it's me.
yeah.
Okay. It's you.
Yeah, fuck you, Brandon. Double
Yeah,
fuck you. He said it.
But no, I would have to say, because he's a draw. He brings in the money, and he carried the company for like well over a decade in like what I feel was kind of a little bit of a dip in the product, but he still carried it. It would be John Cena.
Okay.
If we're going that way, like after those guys, there really wasn't a bigger star during that last 15, 20 years, really, than him. That was a regular full-time guy that carried the company. Like, there really hasn't been anyone after him. Like, maybe Roman's kind of got potential, but you see what I'm saying? There wasn't really anybody after Cena that's like, yo, star power, John Cena. We got to go just see John Cena. Like, he became almost bigger than the company. And that's what I noticed. Is
of a slaughtered breed.
Yeah, they don't like guys becoming bigger than the company.
Sure.
I'm just going to say it like that, and I'm sure somebody will hate on me for that, but they don't like it because it can't be controlled. And John Cena was like the last one that could be bigger than the company. So to me, that's my Mount Rushmore, and I got to stick to it.
Well, if anybody wants to try and hate on you, I'll tell them, read between the lines, pal. It's right there, buddy.
Peel the banana?
That's right.
Peel the banana?
They do that whole fucking... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to do that. Here, let me put that back.
I think, honestly, that's probably the best Rushmore we've had in a long time. I think you picked guys that were kind of from all different eras for the most part. Like,
yeah, I appreciate that, and I didn't get it run down. I'm waiting for it to get run down in the comments, but it's okay.
It's still early. It's still early yet.
It's still early. You'll get all those tomorrow. This is bullshit.
Yeah, give these assholes a minute to wake up, and they'll get going.
Yep, they'll get going. Okay. It's fine.
What did Adam say? Oh my god! All right, so Rick, this is a comment for Adam. Rick, you kind of look like one of my favorite wrestlers, Seth freaking Rollins.
I've heard that before. I have. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I've heard that. I've heard Roman Reigns. I've heard Jay White. I've heard John Morrison. I even heard Bret Hart at one point.
Oh, I could go. I could see the Morrison.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah,
I get that. I get that one quite a bit of late, honestly. Like, but honestly, those are all great guys to be likened to. Like, those are all like top guys in the industry. So, like, I don't know. I must be doing something right or have that look. That
I don't know. Maybe grab a hold of that. Start calling yourself Rick Morrison.
I don't know about all that. Like,
come on. We're just clowning about.
I know. I like being the first and only me. I don't want to be anybody else.
Back in the old days when it was still
the next. That's my favorite. He's the next Seth Rollins, or he's the next HBK. Like, no, he isn't.
I'll be the first me.
Exactly. That's all I ever wanted to be.
Back in the old days when I used to have long hair before it all started falling out and whatnot, I was on a show with Bradshaw back when he was still APA'd. Pulls me aside and says, "Hey, brother, we should really work out a gimmick tonight where you're like my cousin or little brother or something. We'll call you Rob Bradshaw." And I said, "Yeah, problem is I'm Rob Wild." So he's like, "Well, fuck you then." I'm like, "Well, okay." He's like, "All right, you're cool. We'll have a beer later."
Rob Bradshaw?
Rob Bradshaw.
Rob Bradshaw. Man, you could have run with it though, but it's I gave you kudos for sticking to your guns. Like,
that's right.
Fuck that. I'm so and so. This is who I am. So I'll definitely give you props on that, because I probably would have said the same thing. Like, I said, "Listen, dude, no offense, but thanks, but no thanks."
Yeah, get yourself heated, man. Let's book a match with each other. I'll work Bradshaw. I just wouldn't take that clothesline from hell. Screw that. I'm bumping a half an hour early.
Oh, yeah.
He's cocking back. I'm bumping now.
Oh yeah, you're doing the way beforehand. Like
I've watched like that night, man. I watched him hit this kid with that clothesline. Didn't even hit him in the chest. Cocked that thing into a V and popped it right across his mouth. It's like, oh, that poor little bastard.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
He was annihilated.
He comes back, his mouth is bleeding, and he's trying to thank Bradshaw. He's like, stop talking, man. Go sit down.
and it's just teeth. And he's trying to keep his teeth in. Yeah. Oh God, that's awful. That's just that's awful. That poor bastard. Like for real though. Like
Hey, well,
I
cry
don't
me
know
a
if
fucking
it would
river,
be really
man.
hard for me to thank him.
Cry me a river. You got to work Bradshaw in the main event at one of Rick Bassman's shows. That's pretty big time in California.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, like main event, and you get to work them. Yeah, so hey, fuck it, take your shots, man. Like,
Of course, Bradshaw only gave him 6 minutes. Yeah, Bradshaw only gave him 6 minutes. He just pounded on him.
He's like, listen, you're only paying me for 6 minutes. Like, if you wanted me to do more, that envelope needs to be a little heavier, but Bretta.
If you want me to do more, I'm taking it out of this kid's ass.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Another question is rolled in here. Biggest bump you've taken?
Oh, there's a
That's a
few,
hard one.
but there was one that I took, and it's funny because it's an offensive move on my part, but because of the height of it, I mean, I would say this is one of the biggest ones that I can say that I've taken. Definitely. I was in a cage match, and it was a cage match with no ropes. So it's literally just the ring and the cage. So I do my finish is the kill shot. It's a cutter. It's like a springboard cutter. So I hit it from either the second or the top turnbuckle. There's no turnbuckles though. So I climbed the cage to pretty much the top and launch myself back and catch this guy. That fucking impact. And mind you, there was thumbtacks. There was thumbtacks in the middle of the ring. So I did that onto thumbtacks from the top of the cage. My whole back was just on fire. My neck was like, nope, that's not supposed to do that. So that was some fucking impact. And it was an offensive move. So that the guy that took it, like he couldn't even move, honestly, after taking that. He was out. So it was, that was brutal. That was really brutal. I do not recommend. It was my one time and one time only.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, just because I'd love to hear it, Chris, what's your biggest bump?
My biggest bump?
You have to know what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah. You talking about the table?
No, I'm talking about Kali.
Oh, the great Kali? Yeah. Yeah, the infamous choke slam when I'm standing on the outside, picks me up, stand from the outside, and I didn't have to jump. He just picks me up straight up outside the ring. He just reaches over and choke slams me in the ring. Yeah, that was
I wish I could have seen that. It would have been a happy memory till my dying day.
I've never been picked up by somebody that strong. Seriously, he just literally just reached over the rope, snatched me by my neck, and just literally picked me up and just
into the ring, and boom.
And at that point, he has so much force.
My Lord.
Quick ride, bad landing.
Hard, and I just freaking just laid there. I barely rolled out. Yeah, it was, good times. One and done.
Oof.
And then we know mine is the bleacher incident.
Oh.
Goddamn Doug Damien.
We threw you off the bleachers.
His are just watching them. Those are brutal. They're absolutely brutal.
Everything Kali did was brutal, man. That guy was a beast.
Yeah. Didn't speak a lick of
Oh
English,
my
man.
Lord. Yeah, no, we're not.
Whose idea was that, Chris? Was it you?
It really was. Like,
yeah, unfortunately.
That
was you.
The height, just the height alone, like just gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity, just
Yeah. It was great. The fans loved it.
You volunteered. Hey, I'll take this.
Reach over and pick me up by my neck.
I'm not volunteering anymore.
It was, let's just say this.
I would hope so. I hope they weren't dead silent. Like,
it sounded great in the beginning, but after I did it, I was like, this was a terrible decision.
It was great on paper.
Yeah, it's great on paper, man.
It always sounds great in the beginning.
I mean, you figure he reached over and yanked you up.
There's a lot of shit that sounds great on paper, but when in reality you go through, you go, that was stupid.
It was a terrible idea. Like the pyramid of tables genius idea that I had. When I finally was through all the tables, they were all on top of me, and I thought, 4 things are broken for sure. That was an awful idea.
Pyramid of tables. Oh, Jesus Lord.
Yeah, and they were on fire too, like a dummy. We'll just light them up. They'll go out quick. It's only lighter fluid. It won't possibly burn me.
All right, the questions keep rolling in. Stiffest worker you've worked?
I mean, but there's all of them. There's all those tables.
He's still on the tables. He's like, really?
Okay.
Tables? Come on, a pyramid? Who does that? Only Vic Grimes does dumb shit like that.
Flaming tables, like a million of them. I can't help it. Like,
that's awesome.
Well, I figured if nothing else, it'll help clean up my looks and make me a little bit more attractive.
There you go.
Burn some of the ugly off,
Chicks love battle scars, man. Chicks love battle
dig
scars.
Yep.
So anyway, Paul,
do it for nothing else.
Rick,
do it for the chicks.
Who was the stiffest cat you worked with?
Stiffest cat. Listen, there's this guy. I've been wrestling him for a bit now. I don't know. This guy really seems to follow me, and like every independent promotion I go to, he shows up. This guy is Blaze Haram. This guy is a fucking nuclear heat. He's a heat magnet. The guy walks out to like Arabian music and immediately showered in booze. He's never stepped foot in this promotion ever before. Second he walks out, immediate heat. Dude, I just wrestled him in a triple threat like 2 days ago, and just like we left like marks on each other, man. He's I would say probably consistently he's the stiffest guy I've ever worked. Brutal. I mean I have video proof of just absolute just everything. Strong style, just everything back. His forearms, man, I'm like, oh Jesus Lord. Come back with it. He takes it all. Like there's just it's if I can sum up our like relationship, I guess you could call it, would be a mutual to each other constantly in the ring. It's like, okay, fuck you. I'm gonna DVD you right through a table. Okay, cool. You did that. All right. Well, I'm gonna throw you over the top rope and onto another table. Like, it's just everything. It's always outdo and just brutalize each other.
Those goddamn tables.
So consistently, that would be the stiffest guy I've ever worked. Yeah, absolutely.
I think during our days in the ring, Chris, we had to have put some table makers, executive, whatever CEO, put one of their kids through school. We spent a lot of money on tables.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Somebody's
right.
like, yeah, they putting in their weekly order. Yeah. All right. Breaking
Hey,
the money.
it's those two idiots again. Sweet.
I love these guys. These guys are paying every bill I've got. This is awesome.
And then one time we had this table that I swear to God had to be made on Krypton. Son of a bitch just would not go.
Would not break. Oh,
we
God.
beat each other's asses against it. Finally, I said, Chris, forget the table. And he said, no, this fucker is breaking. Whip me into it. So I whipped him into it. He just ran shoulder tackle first into that fucker and finally broke it. But you heard him under the folded up table going, oh.
Yeah. Another decision I regret.
Another thing, it seemed great at the time.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember going through a table and this is the opposite where it broke and it like disintegrated. I mean, the thing exploded into like 10 different pieces. Nice. No, because I got pushed off. It was a table that was set up like on the floor. Dude pushed me off the top rope, and I just go, and it just happened so fast. And the thing just was fucking shit. I had a bunch of these. The bunch of these fans afterwards were like grabbing the pieces of the table, and they were like, "Can you sign my piece of the table?" I was like, "You bastards! Like, I just went through this table."
All right, give me the goddamn
shirt. I'm in pain right now, and you want me to sign the pieces of the table?
Speaking of unusual,
I did after. I'm like, yeah, let me sign your thing, man.
We had this kid that we trained. His gimmick was Aiden, and he was this little skinny, tiny cruiserweight kid. And during a spot in the main event, Conan was gonna powerbomb him through a table, and he had himself so curled up for the ride that he just made a cannonball hole right through the middle of the table where he went through. Boom! And I went, oh shit! I charged to the ring to make sure he was still breathing. But afterwards, he wasn't letting a fan have a single piece of that table. He drugged that whole thing back to the locker room to get all of us to sign, and he drugged that thing to his little hatchback car and took that son of a bitch home. Got to keep them trophies, I guess.
That's memorable.
That happened.
It's like, I'm remembering this one. I'm going to bring this table home. Screw that.
I don't know if he entirely remembered what happened, but he's like, I know that I went through this. That's all I know. And Conan did it.
Fucking hole. That's awesome.
And me and Chris both go, oh my God, charge to the ring, expecting to find him. But now he was all smiles laying underneath that table.
No, he probably don't remember nothing other than that.
Yeah. Right. I broke this table and it's mine, and fuck you guys if you got a problem with it. Well,
look, he'll feel it in the morning.
Oh, he felt it.
You feel it in the morning. It's always then. Like your body's like the adrenaline's already up. You don't feel it. You feel like Superman, and then next day you're like,
sure.
You're like, oh, sweet God, what did I do last night? Yes, that's every
and the thing is, night. He went through the table
every morning after every night. Why did I do this?
He was curled up, his chin was tucked, but when he hit the mat through the table,
it comes back to what I said earlier. You have to love it. You have to love it.
Well, okay, we're coming up to the end of our time here. Anybody else got any questions they want to throw out there, Rick?
Right. Well, I got one here. Rick, was there a gimmick idea that was pitched to you that you turned down that you may have regret?
Oh, are you still with us?
Okay, well, no, I have one, yes, but I turned it down and I have zero regrets about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm here.
perfect. Let's hear it.
I have zero regrets about turning down this gimmick idea. It was a gimmick idea to play like a military war vet that was suffering from PTSD. And here's the issue. I've never been in the military. So it's never a good look to like impersonate a guy who's been in the military and like gone through something like that. Like this guy wanted me to do like full on vignettes about like going to the hospital and dealing with like all the trauma of whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing any of that. Like that, dude, I'm going to get nothing but backlash for that. For what? Like, it's different if like, you know, it's a movie and you're acting it out. Like pro wrestling, that's not going to work. It's just not going to translate.
I believe that's a good way to get stabbed.
I've had a few guys like give me like different gimmick ideas, and I pretty much all turned them down because I was like, I'm not feeling it. But it is. It is absolutely a great way to get stabbed, and I had my dad, who was in the military, said, "Don't you dare do that." Because I just kind of told him like, yo, this guy gave me the suggestion, and he's like, please don't do that. Just don't do it. It's not going to turn out well. I was already on the fence. I really wasn't into it anyway, but it was the guy, like, I was just coming up. I was green as goose shit. So like, I was just trying to like find like a something to get into, like, you know, and this guy suggested it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not really a fan of that, but maybe it could work. And my dad's like, it won't. Just don't do it. So I have zero regrets about giving up that gimmick.
Well, that's a green as goose shit is a hell of a note for us to wrap up this episode.
Love it.
Of Wrestleshoot. Man, Rick, it was great having you on. You're going to have to be more regular with us. Can't wait to hear more about your travels to the top of the food chain in AEW.
I'd love to be.
And on that note, next week, guys, we're going to have old Marty Jannetty returning with us.
I definitely enjoyed this.
So we got a little bit of a lag going on, but that's okay. Any parting words of wisdom, Mr. Casanova?
Just say we'll see you next week for Marty Jannetty.
You got any final thoughts, Rick? He's here.
I fucking loved being on this fucking show, man.
Cool.
I loved being on this show. There's my final thought. It was a great fucking show. I had a hell of a time. Thank you, guys. I really did. Thank you.
We will definitely be getting something scheduled to do it again here pretty soon. And on that note, boys and girls, take care of each other, support wrestling, and we're going to see you guys next week. Bam. Take it home, brother.